Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kunal here. Today we are going to read today's Murli. Let's start. Sweet children, in order to become deities, drink this nectar and also inspire others to drink it. Only those who drink this nectar becomes elevated. Question: on what basis do the subjects of the golden age become ready at this time? Answer: those who are impressed by this knowledge and say that it is very good, but neither study it or make effort become subjects. To be impressed means to become a subject. In order to become a Sun Dynasty king or queen, effort is required. Full attention has to be paid to this study. You can receive a high status if you continue to stay in remembrance and also inspire others to do the same. Om Shanti. You children heard in the song that it is said their lives were like a diamond and that they also become like a shell. This is common because Baba explains very easily so that even a small child can understand. Even they relate the story to the true Narayan. Even small children sit down to listen. However, whatever they relate in those spiritual gatherings also are only stories. Those stories, those stories are not knowledge, they are just man-made stories. There is story of the Gita and the story of the Ramayana. There are many different stories in the scriptures that can relate. All of them are stories. Can there never ever be any profit in stories? This is the story of the true Narayana. That is the story of to become Narayan from an ordinary human. By listening to this story, you change from an ordinary human to Narayan. This is also the story of immortality. You invite people, come and we will tell you the story of immortality so you can go to the land of immortality. In spite of that, no one understands anything. This they have been listening to the stories of the scriptures and yet they haven't received anything. They go to the Lakshmi and the Narayan temple. Come, let's go there to have the glimpse of the idols. Let's go and have a glimpse of the Mahatmas. That custom and system has continued. They continue to bow down to all the rishis and munis, etc., who existed in the past. Ask them if they know the story of the creator and the creation. They reply they don't. You children now understand that this story of the creator and the creation is very easy. It is the story of Alpha and Beta. Although those who come to the exhibitions listen to the story very well, they don't become pure. They believe that the custom and the system of indulging in vice is eternal. They go in front of the idols of the deities in the temple and sing, "You are completely viceless." Then, when they come outside, they say that it is an internal system to indulge in vice and they ask the other worlds to continue with it. Then they say even Lakshmi and Narayan had children. They say this, and so what can you tell them? You cannot equate those with ordinary human beings. Deities were still human beings. They were so happy, and in the kingdom of Lakshmi Narayan, Baba is telling you, children, very, very easy things. Truly, there are heaven in the Bharat. There are truly there was heaven in here in Bharat. It used to be the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. There are their images too. Everyone believes that it was their Lakshmi and Narayan's kingdom in the golden age. No one was unhappy there. They were completely viceless. Big temples have been built to them. They existed 5,000 years ago. They don't exist now. It is now the end of the Iron Age. Human beings continue to fight and quarrel among themselves. God resides up above in the land of Nirvana. In fact, we souls also reside there and we then come here to the here to play our parts. At first we were in the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. There was a lot of happiness and bliss there. And then we had to take 84 births. The cycle of 84 births has been remembered. We ruled in the Sun dynasty for 1250 years. There was limitless happiness there. People were completely viceless and there were palaces studded with diamonds and jewels. We ruled that kingdom and then had to take 84 births. The cycle of this world history and geography continues to turn. Those was happiness for half a cycle. We were in the kingdom of Rama, and then the population of human beings continued to grow. In the golden age there was 9 lakh. By the end of the golden age, that had grown from 9 lakh, from 9 lakh to 20 million. Then there was a lot of happiness and comfort for 12 births in the silver age. There was just the one religion. What happened then? The kingdom of Ravan began. Look how easily I explain the kingdom of Rama and the kingdom of Ravan. You should also explain to young children in this way. What happened then? All the big palaces of the gold studded with the diamonds and jewels went down below in the earthquakes. Took place when the people of Bharat became vicious and the kingdom of Ravan then began. From pure, everyone became impure. They say that the golden Lanka went down below. Some things must have remained with which they built temples. The path of devotion began. Human beings began to become vicious. In it then became the kingdom of Ravan, and their lifespan decreased. From being viceless yogis, they become vicious bhogis who indulge in sensual pleasures. As there was the king and queen to the subjects too, become vicious. The story is so easy. If you young daughters believe related to this story, important influential people would be ashamed. The father is now sitting here and telling you this. We alone is the ocean of knowledge and the purifier. Then in the copper age then you indulge in sensual pleasures and become impure. And other religions then began to come into existence. The intoxication of the nectar finished. Fighting and quarreling begins. We began to fall in the copper age and we became even more vicious in the iron age. We continued to make stone idols of Hanuman and Ganesh. We became those with soul intellects and began to worship stone. We believed that God existed in the pebbles in the stone. By our doing all of that stuff, the condition of Bharat has become like this. The father now says, renounce poison, drink this nectar and become pure and claim our kingdom. Renounce poison and you will change from humans into deities. However, you don't renounce poison. Women are beaten so much for poison and troubled so much. This was a Draupadi called out for protection. If you understand how it is not possible to become deities without drinking this nectar, Ravan doesn't exist in the golden age. The father says, unless you become elevated, you cannot go to the heaven. Those who were elevated have now become corrupt. You now have to drink this nectar and become elevated. The father says, constantly remember me alone. Have you forgotten the Gita? I created the Gita, but they inserted Krishna's name. Who gave the Lakshmi and Narayan their kingdom? It must definitely have been God who gave it. God taught them Raja Yoga in the previous birth, but Krishna's name was inserted. You should practice explaining this to others. It is very easy story. How long did it take, Baba? Even in half an hour, some are not able to understand such an easy matter. This is why the father says, just sit and explain this short story to someone. Take a picture in one hand. There is the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan in the golden age and the kingdom of Rama and Sita in the silver age. Then the kingdom of Ravan began in the copper age. It was such an easy story. We were definitely deities and then become warriors, merchants and Shudras. Now because you don't consider yourself to be deities, you will call yourself Hindus. From having an elevated religion and performing elevated actions, you have become corrupt in your religion and actions. If you young daughters sat and gave lectures in the whole gathering would say, encore. Baba is speaking to those at all the centers. These older people don't learn anything, so teach these little Kumaris. There are also the names of Kumaris. There are very good Kumaris in Delhi and Bombay. They are well educated. They should become alert. They could do so much. If the Kumaris were to become alert, the name could be glorified. Those who wealthy homes hardly have courage. They have the intoxication of their wealth. Once they receive their dowry, that's it for them. When a Kumari gets married, she become ugly and how to bow down to everyone. Therefore, the father explains so easily. However, they don't think about becoming those with divine intellects. Look, nowadays, even those who haven't studied have become MPs or MLAs, member of legislative assemblies. Look at what they have become by studying. This study is very easy. You should go and teach others. However, because they don't follow Srimad, they don't even study. There are many there are many very good Kumaris, but they don't. But they have their own intoxication. They when they do a little work, they think they have done so much. Now a lot of work still has to be done. Nowadays it is Kumaris who indulge in the lot of fashion. There is natural beauty. Here the adornment is so artificial. They spend so much money just on the hairdressing. This is the pomp of Maya. There is the fall of Maya and the kingdom of Ravan, and then there is the rise of kingdom of Rama. The kingdom of Rama is now being established. However, you should at least make some effort. What will you become if you don't study? Then go there. You will become subjects worth a few pennies. Eminent people of study will become subjects there. Wealthy people simply say that it is good, this is good, and become engrossed in their work. They become very impressed, and then what? What will happen eventually? They will become subjects there. To be impressed means to become a subject. Those who make effort will go to the kingdom of Rama. The explanation is very easy. The boats of those who maintain the intoxication of the story go to the across. We will go to the land of peace and then go into the land of happiness. That's it. You simply have to remember Baba and inspire others to do the same. Only then you claim a high status by attention to studying, by paying attention to studying. You should have pictures in your hand. When Baba used to worship Lakshmi and Narayan, we could have their picture in this pocket. There are many small photos. There are also in the lockets. Explain those pictures. This is Baba and you receive your inheritance from him. Now become pure and remember the Father. There is so much of this knowledge in the badge. It has this entire knowledge. It is very easy to explain this. Explain your inheritance of liberation in life from the Father in the second. Anyone who explains this can claim a right to the status of liberation in life. All the rest will claim a status accordingly to how they study. They will go to heaven. They will at least come to the end. The population has to grow. The deity religion is the highest. The deities could be created. Could they not? There will be hundreds of thousands of subjects created. Effort is needed in order to become part of the Sun dynasty. Only those who do service will claim a high status. Their names are also glorified. Kumarika, Janak, etc. are looking after centers very well. There is no conflict. The Father says, see no evil, speak no evil. In spite of that, some continue to say such things. What will such people become when they go there? They don't even do such easy service. Even little daughters can explain this. They can give this knowledge. The army of monkeys is very well known. The Sitas who were trapped in the Ravan's jail have to be freed. People have made up many different stories. Someone could give each lectures. Then the Kumaris say that so and so was very impressed. Ask them what do they want to become. They just tell others. This knowledge is very good. However, they themselves don't understand it. So, what was the benefit? Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. We also say Namaste. Essence for Dharana. In order to become one with the divine intellect, pay attention to the study. Study and teach others according to Srimad. Renounce the intoxication for limited wealth and fashion, etc. and engage yourself in doing this unlimited service. Hear no evil, see no evil. Don't talk about wasteful matters. Don't be impressed by anyone. Tell everyone the short story of becoming a true Narayan. Blessing. May you die alive and remain aware of the new life and thereby gain victory over the physical senses. You children have now completely died alive, cannot be attracted by any physical sense. To die alive means that you have died to everything that you old life has finished. Since you have taken a new birth, how could you be influenced by physical sense in your new birth and new life? In your new life as a Brahma Kumar or Kumari, you are completely beyond any knowledge of what it means to be influenced by physical sense. Do not let even the slightest breath, that is any sanskar of Shudra, be even slightly stuck on you. Slogan: merge God's love in your hearts at Amrit Vela and no other love will attract you. A wet signal. Imbibe the virtue of sweetness and humility to become great. In order to attain success in a gathering, remain constantly seated on the throne of humility. Sit on the throne and wear your crown of responsibility. Create your future status. Don't let off your throne. Do everything whistle seated on your throne, and you will continue to receive success. Let the lesson of you first firm. By doing this, your sanskar will harmonize with everyone. Thank you, and thank you so much. I really appreciate that.